Well, welcome to today's Breakfast at Tiffany's. This is our Power Breakfast edition. We're excited to share with you some tips on how you can step into your power in 2021. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, we want to welcome you to the Breakfast at Tiffany's family. And we want to make sure that you know that you are loved in our sisterhood. This conversation is a monthly conversation that happens with women of passion and purpose. And we have guests sometimes, and other times we're providing the empowerment. But we care about you living your best life, discovering your life purpose, and achieving all that you are meant to be. These conversations are brought to you by the Esther Project, which is a women's empowerment project that is launching women into their life purpose and launching their purpose into the world. And by the Upper Room Church, a dynamic church in Edison, New Jersey, pastored by one of my guests here today, co-host, co-pastor Phyllis Williams, who's my mama. Hey, Mom, how are you today? You want to greet everyone?
Yes, I'm excited. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breakfast at Tiffany's, the February version. God bless you all. So excited. I'm so excited. You're going to hear so much good stuff today. So just take it all in. God bless.
Awesome. She's the dynamic co-pastor of the Upper Room Full Gospel Church. The senior pastor is my dad, Reverend Bruce Williams. So if you need a wonderful place to worship, connect with us. And we'd love to welcome you into our church community. And if you're looking for a global sisterhood that will just knock your socks off, then you want to join the Esther Project. We are going to love on you. We're going to inspire you to reveal that inner queen inside of you. It's called the Esther Project because we love the example of the story of Esther in the Bible. She was a queen who used her power and her influence to help save people. So we want you to realize how significant you are in stepping into your power during our power breakfast today and resolving to reveal the inner Esther inside of you. So I'm here with my co-host today. You met my mom, co-pastor Phyllis Williams, but I have several other sisters that stand by me with the Esther Project and leading it. First, I'm going to start with my friend, Salon Booth Grooms. How are you? Makeup artist and mommy mogul and board member of the Esther Project and my partner in empowerment. We've been dreaming about empowering women for a long time. Good morning, sis.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Breakfast at Tiffany's. This promises to be a wonderful morning of empowerment and purpose and passion, and you're in for a good time.
Well, we are excited to have you today. And I have another sister in empowerment that stands by me with the Esther Project as a fabulous board member, my friend and sister, Sarah Pena. How are you, Sarah?
I'm feeling great. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We're all excited to be here today. Thank you for having us.
And Sarah is a dynamic leader in the state of New Jersey. Not only has she founded her own nonprofit, Boys to Leaders Foundation, but she is also the executive director of the Center for Hispanic Policy Research and Development in New Jersey. So we love you. She is the leading voice for the Latinx community and chief advisor to the governor in that capacity. And we love your leadership here in New Jersey. Always on power list too. So you talk about power, powerhouse is here. And Salon, we'll get to her, you have power when you're on a billboard in Times Square. So we're going to get to that story. And we know about mom's power, right? Because mom just runs things. She runs all of us. She runs the Esther Project and she does it with love, and she runs a church and she just runs so much more that people just don't even realize. So we are hoping to be examples and models of power before you today and inspire you to step into yours. And last but not least, I have my co-host, Vidi Madan, who is a dynamic high school student at East Brunswick High School, and she is the founder and CEO of Her Life Matters Too. You talk about a girl boss stepping into her power. She travels across the world and speaks in other countries and leads a global girls empowerment organization. So welcome, Vidi, and good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Honestly, every month I look forward to breakfast at Tiffany's because it's like such a safe and like powerful group of women, and I hope you guys are happy to be here too because I love it.
Oh, and we are so honored to have you and your voice and your perspective and keeping us on point as to how we can continue to help empower girls. So we love your perspective. So we want to get started today. We normally get started with some breakfast tips and conversation. So we love the concept of breakfast at Tiffany's because we love to use breakfast as a way to fellowship with other sisters. And we encourage you, even on the months that you're not here with us, to use the tradition of breakfast to break bread with other sisters, to talk about your lives, to talk about your vulnerabilities, to talk about your goals and your dreams and how you can help one another move forward. So, but you got to eat at breakfast, right? So every month we give you a good breakfast tip. So Salon, I know that today's breakfast tip is right up your alley because you are like breakfast queen. And as soon as I said what today's topic was, you were like, oh, I got it. I got it. So oatmeal. So in the chat, please tell me, because some of my breakfast tips are not as popular with my co-host as others, right? Sarah and I are like always at odds about my breakfast choices. But okay, so today's is about oatmeal. So Salon, I know you love oatmeal. So tell us what's some delicious ways that we can enjoy fabulous oatmeal, which some people are like, oatmeal.
No, oatmeal is amazing, but more importantly than just to me, it tastes amazing. And there's a bunch of different things that you can do to it to make it, fit your palate. But what is most important is the health and beauty benefits of oatmeal. When I was a little girl growing up in the Bronx in a neighborhood that was a little tough, my mom made sure that every day we ate oatmeal, and I hated it. But as I got older, I noticed that I hardly ever got sick as a child. It comforted me. It was filling. It was warming on cold days. So I was like, there's something to this oatmeal. And then the funny thing is, as I got older and was in the beauty industry, I noticed a trend that most of the women that I knew that looked really, really young for their age ate oatmeal on a regular basis. And I said, there has to be something to this oatmeal thing. So I Googled it, and it is true. Oatmeal has a lot of repairing properties when it comes to beauty, but also health. It's heart healthy and it helps your skin. So when you ingest it, it just really revs up that beauty quotient inside of you. But also, I love to use an oatmeal mask. So besides eating it, I take the dry oatmeal, put a little bit of water on it, make it a little pasty, rub it all on my face, leave it on for about 10 minutes. It's a great exfoliating mask. It helps if you have eczema. It helps, like I said, it's anti-aging and it's cheap. So get your oatmeal and do a regular oatmeal mask. I would say at least 2 to 3 times a week. It is amazing. Now, really briefly, to make it really good. So when you're making your oatmeal, I have 2 favorite things. First of all, I love oatmeal with brown sugar. I put a little bit of honey in it and raisins, and that is it. And it's really, really healthy. It also helps quell your hunger for the rest of the day. So if you start with oatmeal, you're going to make better choices throughout the day. That's my healthy version of oatmeal. I also have a non-healthy version of oatmeal that my kids love.
Sarah's looking at you like, yes, I want that one. Sarah,
Yeah.
were you not?
Hey, now I can get into oatmeal when she said the mask thing. Can you please put that in the chat? Because now maybe I'll buy oatmeal for that reason.
You have to. It's going to last forever. And it's just so good. The non-healthy version, I do something that I made up about 10 years ago that I call holiday oatmeal. Because of my mom, I wanted to feed my kids oatmeal on a regular basis. Of course, they weren't feeling it. So I started doing things to the oatmeal to make it more appeasing. So I would add sprinkles, like candied sprinkles. So instead of sugar, I would put sprinkles in the oatmeal. So if it's Easter time, it's Easter sprinkles. If it's Christmas time, it's Christmas sprinkles. You get my drift. So my birthday is next Sunday. So all week we will be having birthday oatmeal. So my birthday oatmeal consists of these unicorn sprinkles. It's called candy fetti. I got this from Walmart. Maybe it was $2. And it is like unicorns and stars and just beautiful colors that makes the oatmeal not only taste good, but look really, really pretty. I also, Sarah, this is just for you, want to go into sugar shock when I eat my oatmeal. So I put some blue sprinkles on it. And how cute is this? When you just, because oatmeal doesn't have flavor. So to make it extra sugary, I use this sugar stick that is like just sugar on a stick, and I stir it. And when I tell you, it is so good. And I'm hoping that the health benefits of the oatmeal balances with the sugar shock that you're gonna get. But that is my holiday oatmeal. Also, if you follow me on Salon Booth Rooms on Facebook, you will see a picture of my beautiful holiday oatmeal birthday edition that I made today.
Awesome. Well, I am excited. You know, I've known you for a long time. I never knew about the birthday oatmeal. Here
Oh,
I
girl,
am
people,
suffering.
when I do the holiday edition, because I've done it for Easter, I've done it for Halloween, I've done it for Christmas. Everybody always says, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to do this from now on with my kids."
Wow. So okay, I'm going to try that. And so I think the key to what you said, Salon, is that oatmeal really doesn't have too much of a flavor. So
Right.
that's what makes it. So even though that's what repels some people from eating oatmeal, it's really what should draw you to it. You know, in trying to transform, we talked last time with Stacy Youngblood Veneman about, you know, really transforming our lifestyle of eating this year. You know, my tip is to gravitate to foods like oatmeal, like a salad that can be a palate or a smoothie or a shake. I use those things as like just a canvas that you can add things to. Now, when we buy them pre-made and they have so much sugar,
Yeah.
but if you start making it yourself, you don't have to suffer. I suffered for a long time because I'm an extreme black or white person, right? So it's either like I'm buying the one that has tons of sugar or you know, it's no flavor.
Right.
Add what you like to it, because I guarantee you, you're putting less sugar in it than what you would buy in a pre-made package. So
Even with the sugar shock that I'm doing,
yeah,
you're putting less sugar in it.
exactly.
And I don't do it on a regular basis. That's a special occasion thing. But also, if you like berries, if you like banana, I put bananas in my. I've seen people put peanut butter in oatmeal. You put, like I said, honey, raw honey in oatmeal. Anything that you like, nutmeg, whatever, add it in your oatmeal, and that will be your flavor base.
Awesome. And we've put a few of our favorite recipes in the chat. I will ask if there's anyone else that has some good, I see some good recipes in the chat as well. Marquita, I see yours as well, using apple juice instead of water. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. That is so good. Orange juice also. I had the best oats of my life at my gym when I was in New Jersey, and they used orange juice as the base. So experiment, add some sweet. You need some sweet to it, and you need some texture to it. You can use fruit or nuts. So try to get your oats in. And last tip I have is, if you don't like oatmeal, right? In Salon, now I know when I can't finish it because I just can't take it anymore because I didn't make it sweet enough, I'll just put it on my face. Waste no oatmeal. Put it on
Yes.
your face.
No oatmeal goes, no oatmeal left behind.
Left behind. Exactly. And the last thing is, I put oats in when I don't want to eat the consistency of oatmeal, I will just put the oats in a shake. So you can blend the oats as well. I do a good peach cobbler one. We'll talk about smoothies and shakes next time too, but I put some peaches or pears, almond milk, maybe even a little nut butter or a banana, and some of those oats in there, and it blends right up. So all right, so that's your breakfast tip of today. Thank you, Salon, for also giving us the self-care tip of the day, to use our oatmeal mask. So I want to get into our conversation today. during our power breakfast. You know, I was reflecting this week about my former life in New Jersey before I moved to California, when I was, you know, really working 9-to-5 jobs, and especially in government and in the law. We had this concept sometimes of having power breakfast. Sarah, I know you have your share of power breakfast too right now, still in your role, you know, meeting at 6:30 or 7 a.m., you know, with leaders and getting things in before you go to work. And sometimes there are even places where these power breakfasts tend to occur. And I said, we need to have a power breakfast here at Breakfast at Tiffany so we can step into our power in 2021. And there were just a few, before we get into our tips today, there were a few women who are in my circle who have recently written books. You know, I think books and reading helps you to step into your power. My dad always says, leaders are readers. So I wanted to bring on Tracy Womack Branch quickly to tell us about one of her book projects, and then Katie Rodriguez, two friends of mine. Tracy, how are you?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Okay,
So,
good, great. Well,
you-
I thank you, and I'd like to say good morning to all the ladies. You all look beautiful, and this is my first time on the call with you all, so I hope to be back again. It's very nice to see your beautiful faces,
and
and I thank you for this brief opportunity. I'll be very brief. Um, I wrote a devotional, a 31-day devotional, and it's called Widow by the Water. I became a widow in 2016. No one desires to be a widow, but when things come your way, I wanted to help others who are going through this stage of their lives. And it's not just beneficial for a widow, it's beneficial to anyone who may have lost a loved one. The encouraging words range from soothing to restoration. And there's various words for 31 days, along with a prayer, and also with some lines that you can take notes. So maybe one day in the future we can chat about it. In the future, the cost of the book is $16.95, and I had to add $4 for shipping and handling. And I wrote it to inspire others so that it can be a blessing to uplift and encourage their soul as they go through. For we all heal at different rates, but we all could use an encouraging word from day to day. So thank you so much for this opportunity to say a brief word. And I pray that the rest of your day as well. Say a prayer for me. I have to depart. I'm taking a test this morning, but I hope and pray that you all have a wonderful afternoon.
thank you so much for taking the
Thank you.
time out. I have my book. I am very excited. And Tracy, how can we get the book? And there are questions on the chat. Do you?
Yes. Okay. I did not go Amazon this time. However, if you like to purchase a book, you can simply send me an email or find me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Tracy Womack Branch, and I'm also on Facebook, Widow by the Water. I'm working on Instagram, need my little technical assistant to help me, my daughter, but I hope to get on Instagram as well. But if you like, you can just leave me a message on Facebook and I will kindly respond to you.
What's your email again so we can put in the chat, Tracy?
Okay, the email address is womackbranch@aol.com. I know that's old school, but it's womackbranch@aol.com.
Hey,
And you can also find me on Facebook.
okay. So Widow by the Water. And so
Yeah, thank
Tracy,
you.
we love you. We love
Love you all too. Have a blessed day.
you too. And Tracy is a great example of turning her pain into purpose and just putting her passion out there and sharing her story and just putting herself out there. So if you have a message or you have an experience that you want to share with the world, consider writing a book. It's a great way to step into your power. Sarah has put Tracy's Facebook page in the chat for you. I put her email address. I encourage you to encourage this step that this Esther woman has taken to step into her power and living with passion and purpose. And Tracy, we are going to pray for you for your test today and also for your continued journey in overcoming, the loss that you experience, but the new ministry that God is launching in you and through you with this book. So we are excited. So ladies, support Widow by the Water. And what a great concept to have a devotional as well. So I am very, 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 very excited to also welcome another friend of mine, Katie Rodriguez. But before we get to Katie, Salon, why don't you tell us about the billboard? Let's talk about stepping into your power. You had an awesome experience where you were featured on a billboard in Times Square. Hashtag goals. All right. Tell us about that experience and how that was a manifestation of you stepping into your power.
Okay, so could you hear me? Okay, good. So I had an idea. Of course, some of you know that I am a beauty pageant girl. I've done, several beauty pageants. That's how Tiffany and I met. And I am just the first African American to hold these 4 major titles that I was able to hold in New Jersey, right? So I said to myself, I want to do a photo shoot to commemorate that fact that, that I'm the first Black woman to do it. I'm the second person overall to do it, but the first Black woman to do it. And I would like to do a photo shoot. When I decided to do the photo shoot, I realized that that my friends now hold the current titles, because I've held these titles in different years, and they're all women of color. So I went to them and I said, oh my gosh, we have to take a picture together and, mark this great time in history that we all have held these titles and we're all women of color. And what a wonderful celebration of sisterhood this is. And they were on board. They were like, yes. So we did this fabulous photo shoot. It was amazing. And in the true form of when passion and purpose collide and God's favor, we took the picture. How it was getting out to people, I'm not really sure. Maybe the girls were like sending it to people. But one of the girls who was in the photo with me said, oh my gosh, someone reached out to me and wants to put the picture that we took together on a billboard in Times Square to celebrate Black History Month. And I was like, what? So I was like, yeah. So I wrote the text, which was just something simple like Black Queens Making History, because we are women making history. It's the first time that Black women were holding all these titles at the same time. And I was just celebrating them because I had already held titles. And it was hashtag Black History Month. To see that in Times Square, I'm a New Yorker. I'm in Jersey, but I'm a New Yorker, born and raised. And Times Square was my playground growing up. And to be there one evening and see yourself on a gigantic billboard was insane. But what made it even sweeter is it's, when things happen, when you let yourself open to what God has in store for you, a magazine that I was in called me and said, oh, we're going to put you on a billboard in Times Square. So I don't only have one, but 2 billboards at the same time in Times Square, just celebrating not only Black beauty, but beauty of any age, any size, any shape. And it was just an amazing experience. And I am just so, so grateful and grateful to the Esther Project, because I think what the lesson is for me is what the Esther Project is all about. When you work hard on your passion, your purpose will show itself. And though, I'm so excited to have the billboard. The billboard is not the purpose. The purpose is for a young brown girl to walk down Times Square and to see her represented on the billboard. I think that is the purpose, for us to see our own representation of beauty that we don't get to see on a regular basis. So that's my story.
Well, that's quite a fantastic story. And how incredible to have 2 billboards in Times Square at the same time. I mean, to have one in your lifetime is amazing, but to have two and at the same time is just the intersection of your passion and purpose. Well, it couldn't have happened to a better person, especially
Thank you.
for your birthday. And you want to tell us how old you're going to be on your birthday because it's really unbelievable.
Oh, I'm going to be 50, the big 5. Oh, God is good. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. And when I was growing up, 50 was old. To me, 100 is not even old. I'm excited.
Well, we're excited for you, and we certainly next month will celebrate your birthday properly as well. But we're looking forward to seeing what 50 is going to bring for you and for us who know you. So I want to bring on Katie Rodriguez, my friend, my another sister in empowerment, my fellow dream queen, and hi, Katie. Katie is also a pageant girl. She is a former Miss New Jersey USA. All right. And back in the day when there were not a lot of Black women who were state title holders in the Miss USA system. But Katie is more than just that platform of having been a former title holder, because she has really played her purpose forward. She's a licensed therapist. She has her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She's a graduate of both University of South Carolina, I believe, and New York University, where she got her master's degree. She is highly educated. She loves God. She is a modern day Esther. Katie had the most fabulous girls empowerment program that I've ever been a part of called Role Model. And she is the sort of woman that can help to teach anybody how to raise an empowered woman in this day and age. So she has combined all of that in her passion and purpose to really help women. And it has culminated for this season in her writing a book called Confidence Journal. So Katie, I wanted you to talk about what motivated you to write your book, and how can we get your book, and what is your book about? What can we expect when we get it?
Sure. So thank you
Welcome
so much.
to breakfast, Katie.
Thank you. I had to go through some things to get here, but I am here now. So thank you so much for having me. So the Confidence Project Journal. So this is 52 journal prompts to help women uncover their personal strength and overcome doubt. And it's really a beautiful journal, beautifully designed, and I have it available both in a hardback gift set version. So there's this luxury gift set version, and then there's also the paperback, which is going to be launching on Amazon next week on International Women's Day on Monday. So I'll be dropping a link in the comments for that. But my inspiration for writing this book was it was really a combination of both my personal and professional experience. So personally, as you mentioned, being Miss New Jersey USA 2009, it was a complete honor. I wouldn't change the experience for the world. I grew so much as a person and as a woman. But there were a lot of, as you all can imagine, and Salon, I know Tiffany, there was a lot of scrutiny that comes with holding a title of that caliber. People said the meanest things. If you look at my crowning on YouTube to this day, there are still comments, of racial slurs or people saying that I look like an animal and just really ugly things. And so while I like to say my confidence was high when I became Miss New Jersey, and it was really my confidence in my ability to do challenging things and to be able to go after the things I want, I had that level of confidence. But in going through to the Miss USA pageant and having that next level of a challenge, my confidence had to grow. And so it had to grow beyond my abilities, my ability to fail or succeed, and it had to go beyond what other people think about me. So when you can get to the point where you accept yourself, whether you win or lose, fail or succeed, whether people like you or not, that's a whole different level. And so that was part of the inspiration behind the journal, as well as when I was Miss New Jersey, I did a lot of speaking to youth across the tri-state area. And one thing that I saw for our girls was there was a challenge in confidence. So that was another, this starts to build my passion for working with women and girls in self-esteem, self-acceptance, self-compassion, and confidence. And then the final thing, a few years later, when I started my practice, so I work with individuals that identify as anxious perfectionists and stressed out overachievers. Are there any of those on the call today? Perfectionists and high achievers.
Amen. Amen.
And I'll say I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I really understood these women. And these are the techniques that I use with the women in my practice. Journaling is a powerful medium. So I recommend that for my clients all the time. It's a powerful medium for building self-awareness. And the things that I say to my clients are the things that I put in this journal. So I really wanted a tool that every woman can access to help be able to overcome some of these things that I've seen inside of and outside of the therapy office.
That is incredible. And I can't wait to get my copy. And the gift said, I want it all. And I encourage you, ladies. I put in the chat that journaling is so powerful and I love it as a practice. It's something that I use so much. And, one thing, Heidi, I love about journaling is that it's an actual record, a written record that you can go back to. And as much as I love reading, in the past few years, my favorite reading is to go back and read my journals.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. And to see how you've grown and developed or the themes that you may see when it comes to being self-reflective too. So I definitely can see in my own life how journaling has led to helping to increase my confidence. I also love, Heidi, how you were talking about, your confidence has to really kind of, go beyond your abilities and almost, it made me think about your confidence has to meet you in that destination that you see yourself. And so I can see how this journaling project can help us to really propel forward. Now we know that there are a lot of obstacles though, Heidi, too. So in your practice, are there any just tips that you have for the ladies on the call today, in addition to journaling, to help us to move forward in stepping into our power and having the confidence to do that?
Right. So one thing that I notice within my practice, and this is sprinkled within the journal, but I notice this a lot in the practice, is women will come in thinking that they need more self-confidence, but what they really need is more self-compassion. And so, as I said, we can go for the gold, we can try to do challenging things, we can, put ourselves to the test. But what tends to really bring us down is when we are hard on ourselves throughout the whole process, when we're beating ourselves up, when we're expecting perfection, when we don't allow ourselves to be human. So building that ability to be compassionate with yourself is really crucial when it comes to just empowerment and wellness overall. I like to say, when you are beating yourself up about a failure or some type of shortcoming, you have whatever the emotional weight of that failure is, let's say disappointment or whatever it might be. But then on top of that, if you don't have self-compassion, there's judgment and there's guilt. And we don't need that extra weight. You need that extra weight to be able to figure out how to work your way through the thing and to improve. And so it's really just about accepting your humanity, giving yourself grace, and the more I understand this principle, the more I just appreciate my God, because the concept of grace, I used to think that I had to do everything perfectly in order to earn his blessings and favor. But this idea of grace is like, you're gonna mess up because you're human, and that's not to say that you continue to sit in it and allow it, but you don't have to wallow and to beat yourself up, because you have human limitations and you just pick up and learn from them. So learning self-compassion, and I'll say one great tool for self-compassion, very, very simple, is permission slips. So writing yourself a permission slip ahead of time. If you know that this is an area that you tend to beat yourself up in, you write this permission slip, and it's a reminder to give yourself grace and that you're human. So for example, working with working moms, a lot of times they will feel guilty that their house is a mess and they can't, be there for the kids. And so one permission slip is I give myself permission to have a messy house from time to time. Like, if I'm working 10 hours a day and I have 3 kids, my house is not going to be clean, so I give myself permission to do that without there being guilt and judgment around it. And it's just that reminder that frees up space and a lot of times will lift depression. So that's one tool. And the other tool is pretty simple, but I think it's easy to overlook. Prior to the pandemic, I did walk and talk therapy. And so this is, therapy outside of the office where we would meet in a park and we'd walk and talk through our sessions. And I like to be outside, so that part of it was selfish, but there really is a mental health benefit to it. So being in the sunlight is going to increase your serotonin, and your serotonin is one of those feel-good hormones that's going to help to improve your overall mood and wellness. And being that it's wintertime, that it's cooler, we might not be getting as much sun and fresh air as we need. And I think that there's a holistic element to empowerment, to being your best self, that we shouldn't overlook. So yes, we can read the books and we can, challenge ourselves to do tough things, but if we're not taking care of ourselves holistically, we're not going to be able to operate at 100%. So going for walks and exercising and getting sunlight, I think that it really, that's like kind of a baseline that we need to all make sure that we're doing.
And I love how you said to be gentle with yourself. These are amazing tips. And you have me thinking back to, I had a practice where I used to do some mentoring walks when I went to a particular professional conference quarterly with some of the young lawyers that I mentored. And it was such a transformational experience. And so you're encouraging me to incorporate that even with myself. Also, and in the pandemic, ladies, you can do this on the phone with someone. I would sometimes walk and talk to Sarah Pena, and inevitably my phone would die in the middle of our conversation, and she'd be so worried that something happened to me during our walk. But so charge your phone. But walking and talking, walking and praying, walking and connecting, great way for us to have that sister therapy too. Heidi, these have been amazing, amazing tips. Thank you for your generosity. And we know that these are strategies that you get paid to do as well. So thank you for gifting us today with your expertise. Now, Heidi, if anyone wants to consider working with you, and I saw a few people in the chat saying they wanted to connect with you, how can we connect with you? Can you say it because we're going to put this on YouTube as well as put it in the chat?
Okay, so I will put them in the chat, but you can find me on social media, on Instagram at Kaity, Kaity, V as in boy, Rodriguez. You can go to my website, www.serenitywellnessandtherapy.com. That's my therapy practice where you can access me or you can access my team. I have a couple of other women who are working in the practice now, women of color. And then if you want to pick up the journal, you can go to theconfidenceprojectjournal.com. And so there will be an option for the luxury VIP gift set. So that has a special pretty gold pin as well as a gold metal bookmark that says the most beautiful thing a woman can wear is confidence. It also has a self-love playlist. So you scan a QR code and it's going to take you to a self-love playlist. And then that includes the hardback version of the journal. So it's really just, I wanted to create for this VIP package to kind of a luxury journaling experience. So if you want to treat yourself, you have your music, you have your nice items, your pen and your journal. And then if that's not your thing, on Monday, March 8th, International Women's Day, we will be launching our paperback online on Amazon. So you can access both at my website, theconfidenceprojectjournal.com. which I will also put in the comments.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. And we're praying for much
Thank you
success
so
with this
much.
project. And let me ask, are there 5 people in the chat that are interested in the VIP Confidence Journal? Are there 5 people? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, those first 5 people, I will gift you the VIP Confidence Journal Project, Confidence Project Journal.
Thank you.
And, you know, I love Katie Rodriguez. So I want you all to go ahead and please support this project and let it help you to step into your power in 2021. And compliments of Breakfast at Tiffany's, we will give those first 5 sisters who were so bold. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Tasha, you got in there with 6. Okay, 6 people. I got you. All right, Susan. All right, we're good. So you know we're generous here at Breakfast at Tiffany because we love you.
Reverend Tiffany, I'd like to donate a journal.
Okay, well, good because we have 6 people. So if you have put in the chat already, we'll grandfather you in and make sure everyone that got in the chat will have a journal. So Katie, we love you. We support you at the Esther Project. You've been so generous to us over the years. Katie was one of our award winners when we recognize women who were just outstanding leaders in the community, and you continue to amaze me. And I look forward to just being there to clap for you as you know, get your Emmy, because I think you're going to be on television too, Katie. So.
I'm still working on it, so we'll touch and believe on that.
Yes, yes.
I have to say, you know, you're so diligent in walking in your purpose, and you know, when you wrote your book, that was like my inspiration. So you have been diligent to your cause for all these years, and you keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for awarding me in the Charm Awards. I got an Esther Award from the Role Model Program that I cherish in my heart, and I just love that image I always have of that day. And so, Katie, we love you.
Thank you. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. So we have our confidence journal and our giveaways, and I just wanted to leave you today not only with some inspiration, some tools of some books from the 2 ladies that we heard from today, but with some power tips for you in your life to step into your power. We've talked about some sub themes of confidence here, and confidence is vital. There are some tools that can help you with your confidence that Katie mentioned. Journaling is a practice that I absolutely use, and just the power of reflection and introspection. And Katie did mention my book, which I rarely do promote. I'm like, you know, the worst author promoter ever, but I do want to give you some points today on stepping into your power that are really the essence of my book as well. If you're new to Breakfast at Tiffany's or to the Esther Project, I am the founder and CEO of this nonprofit organization and movement that is meant to help women to discover their life purpose. So to me, the ultimate power tip for you today on behalf of all of us here is to have the courage to discover your purpose and launch your purpose into the world. So you may be starting with, I'm not quite sure what my purpose is. I have a lot of things I love to do, but I feel a little stuck right now. So we just have 7 principles in the Esther Project that we really live by and promote and have written a whole practical challenge around. So every year we lead women globally in a 6-month, actually it's a little more because we start with a pre-challenge, but a 6-month, 24-week challenge around our guiding principles. And we believe that this challenge, and we see it every year, and we see it in our own lives, helps women to step into their power. It's called the Esther Project Challenge, and we will be kicking it off officially on March 20th, which is the 11th anniversary of the Esther Project. But we, on International Women's Day as well, are going to kick off our pre-challenge, which is about decluttering, which is the first power tip I have for you today. So Sarah has put in the chat the link to the challenges on our website. And we want to encourage you, even as you continue to listen to our 7 tips today, to really contemplate, do you want to move forward and step into your power in 2021? That's my first question to you. Do you want to step into your power? Are you satisfied with where you are right now? You know, sister, it may be good to you. Is it good for you? And can you see yourself in longevity in the place that you're in now? Do you see yourself leaving a legacy for others? Do you see where you are right now, inspiring others to walk the path that you've walked, because you're actually leaving breadcrumbs for others to see? Do you even open up your life so that others can see how you do what you do? How did you get to where you are? What does it take? What are the obstacles that you overcame in order to be who you are? Well, that is living a purposeful life. That is living out your best life. And we want, through the Esther Project, to help you to step into that power. You know, when I have stepped into my power in my life and in my career, you can't tell me anything. Now, Sarah, you and I have worked together. You're my sister as well. So you've seen me personally and professionally and in ministry. Now, you know, there may have always been these sub themes of you can't tell me much. But when I stepped into the power of who I am, my own significance, my own vulnerabilities, the humility that also comes with the journey of character building to step into your purpose, you literally cannot. There is no, Patty talked about the scrutiny. Yes, when you step into your power, that's a platform of elevation. And there are people that will try to take you down for no reason, tear you down, a lot of scrutiny. But when you have this confidence, ladies, that is rooted in knowing your purpose and knowing you're walking in it. And, you know, we are women of faith, for those of you that may be new to us. So we have this extra element of knowing that our purpose is rooted in the knowledge of who God created us to be. So how can anyone tell you anything, Sarah, right? Hello, hello. But we wanted to start with the first power tip of decluttering. So to get on this journey, to get to this path, and these are principles that we're going to work from March through September in our 6-month journey with the Esther Project Challenge, but we wanted to lay them out for you today so that you can leave this breakfast, this power breakfast conversation, stepping into your power. You don't have to wait for 6 months. Decluttering, Sarah. I have seen such transformation in my life with decluttering. What does decluttering mean to you?
Wow, decluttering, I thought it was healthy, right? It was healthy. Just seeing things, right? Not only physically, but mentally, getting clarity in my life, what I want to bring in my home. So it was so important to me. I didn't think I had clutter. You know, I was like, no, these things are put away because, you know, for whatever reason. And then once I started the challenge, and you know, what I love about the challenge is the circles that are formed within the challenge. And you have the opportunity to really share about the things that are going through. So I'm not going to take much of the time, but that is a great opportunity. And that's why I heard some of the other sisters talking about how they were decluttering and how important it was. And I had always read about it and heard people talk about it at motivational, but to listen to women that were just like me in these circles through the Esther Project was like, wow, okay, now it's real, it's hitting home. So decluttering, you know, just picking an area for me was important. I started small, picking one small area and just decluttering that one space and then moving on. I mean, there were clothes I didn't wear for 5 years. I thought I was going to go down to my fabulous size 4. And, you know, it had to come to the point of, no, that's not going to happen. You're a 10 and it's okay. It's okay. So get rid of those clothes because there might be somebody that can use them and so forth. So I took pieces of my house, of my apartment, and kind of declutter like that. I thought it was, helping me create a more peaceful space when I come home after all the chaos that is out there in the world. And also for my health and mental state, I think it really, really helped me. It's something that you have to do continuously. It's not like I just decluttered this time, because things just build up. And even with journaling, I used to journal as a little girl. I had no idea of how the therapy, right? Sometimes we just do things that we didn't realize. And the journaling, all these notebooks as I got older, all these notebooks saved up. And those that cause pain, I just threw them out. I was like, I don't want to read this anymore. I don't want to be reminded and so forth. So that's also part of my decluttering, removing that and just trying to stay focused. But I had things like since I was 8 years old, like I've been journaling and getting out, things because that was my way of dealing with certain things. But decluttering was so important. It's such a great start, Tiffany, to this program, to this challenge. So I look forward to speaking to my sisters again, because I'm going to do it again. This will be my third time, and decluttering is where it all starts for me.
Wow. Powerful. I can certainly relate. And I love how you related decluttering to more than just things in your home. You may need to, sisters, to step into your power. You may need to declutter mindsets. You may need to declutter people. You may need to declutter your past, your baggage. What's your baggage holding you back from? Are you going to let it go? Can you just let it go? I want you to let it go right now. I want you to think about the most painful things that you've still been carrying around and make a decision to let it go, because it's okay. And your path forward is going to be so much greater, so much greater. And some things are easier than others, but this declutter process at least gives us the mindfulness to consider what may be holding us back. Self-care is another power tip. So mastering the fundamentals of self-care. And I want to ask Salon about her power tips for mastering the fundamentals of self-care.
First of all, what's really important, and of course, this is my favorite part of the Project Challenge, is mastering the fundamentals. And mastering the fundamentals of self-care is so important because, like we always talk about, when you're in an airplane and they're giving you the safety tips, they always say, put the oxygen mask on you first, then you can help who you're with, even if it's your child. And the reason why that's so important, because if we are drowning, we cannot help those around us. Self-care is just that. We have to take care of self. And sometimes that may look selfish, but you have to make sure that you are doing what you need to do to stay afloat, to feel good, to thrive and survive, because that's what God put you on the earth to do, to be the best you can be. So how that works in my life is when I wake up, I give myself a few minutes of me time. Think of what it is that I need to do for the day. How do I need to operate during the day, and what I need to do first for myself to make sure that that is going to run smoothly. So that might be, and part of it is also being organized and decluttering and doing everything else that the Esther Project suggests. And that's why it's so good to go through the whole project, because you see how those tools can all work interchangeably. But making sure that you are doing everything you need to do to put yourself first, however that looks to you. For me, mine is a little vain. I need to look fabulous every day. So I need to make sure that I take 10 minutes out of the day to put myself together. When I do that, I feel better operating in the world. And I am not going to allow other people's opinions or scrutiny or what they think about how I present myself to validate how I present myself. That's why it's self-care, not other people and what they care about. So make sure you just put yourself first.
And Salon, there's a biblical principle that says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So yes, it is a powerful principle that Jesus was talking about himself when asked, what are the greatest commandments? And he said, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, mind, and your strength. And the second is like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Did you notice the order of that, sisters? You are to love your neighbor with the standard in which you love yourself, not love yourself, not the opposite, right? So many times I was talking with a friend this morning about how much I give out to others, and I have to take the time to pour into myself. This is critical. This is a mindset we may need to declutter as well. What does it mean to self-care? What does selfish mean and what does it not mean? And I just want to note, thank you so much, Salon, for those tips. And I want you all, for those that don't even know Salon that well, right? Salon is not a single woman who's just getting up doing her makeup every day for 10 minutes, okay? She is a wife of many years, over 20 years, with the same amazing man. She is a mother of 4 children, one of whom is a special needs child that has incredible needs that she attends to every moment of the day. And she's an entrepreneur as well. And she is a community servant as well. But she's talking about taking that time, that little bit, to pour into herself so she can be all those things for everyone else. And if you don't take anything else away from this power breakfast, take away the commitment to care for yourself. So 2 more tips for you. We want you to live on purpose by enjoying your life. Write down a list when you get out of this breakfast meeting of what are the things that you just love to do. Maybe you haven't done that. This is an area I have to work on. Sometimes I'm just boring, boring. I am all work, all giving to other people, and not nurturing my own life enjoyment. But that's stopping because I am stepping into my power in 2021. So I love to play tennis. I love to play golf. I can't tell you the last time I did either of those. I love to go to professional sporting events. Can't tell you the last time I did that. I love to vacation. Can't tell you the last vacation I truly took, right? So I'm a little out of balance with my own life enjoyment. Yes, we're in a pandemic, so these are unprecedented times, but I have my own list of checks of when I know, you know what? I need to take some time out because that's a part of my self-care as well. We want you also to expand your territory as a power tip for you at breakfast today. Don't just stay where you are, sisters. Don't stay in the same circle. You have the same friends you've had since high school. Vidi, your friends in high school right now, you can love on them, but I hope you have new friends in 20 years as well to add to those, okay?
I hope so too.
And, really thinking about what are you the brightest star in your circle? I had a very compassionate girlfriend who challenged me a little bit about 10 years ago. And she said, you're the brightest star in every circle that I see you in. I want you to expand your circle. And that was tremendous advice for me. And I started to grow in ways that I never imagined. So, for example, this week we have an amazing announcement as a result of the circles that I'm pushing myself to as well. The founder and CEO of Anastasia Beverly Hills, who was our guest last month, Anastasia Soiree, my new girlfriend, right? She has given $42,500 to the Esther Project as a grant donation to help to start our institute that we're going to be launching. And that is a result of me having expanded even my territory. So, incredible. We had an incredible dinner even last night talking about it. And, I never thought, that I would be, dining with, chatting with, receiving donations from a billionaire founder and CEO of a company that has like the #2 Instagram in the beauty business. But that is a result of expanding my territory. And I encourage you to do the same thing as your power tip. Next power tip is becoming what we call a cocoon in the wilderness. And I want to ask Mom if you have some spiritual food for us today, because becoming a cocoon in the wilderness is really about overcoming some of the things Heidi was talking about, the having emotional wellness, having that stillness, having those practices that will allow you to be reflective, like that cocoon, like being in the wilderness. The wilderness is that place where everyone can't get to you. It's a place of solitude. And the cocoon is this encasing that keeps you separated. Have you ever felt like everything was going in such a way and you literally couldn't move to the left or to the right? And the situation wouldn't change, but you do recognize that there was some transformation going on, but it was not of your own making. That's the cocoon in the wilderness. And when you're going through those times, you need to hear from God. We are a faith-based group here. There's no other way to hear it. You need to know what God is saying to you for your life about your purpose and about the power that God has put inside of you that he wants to use in this world. So, Mom, you have some spiritual food before we leave breakfast today, and we'll conclude with our final 2 tips.
Sure. I thank God for all of you today. And Heidi, you really blessed me with your comments. I had jotted down self-compassion versus self-confidence, if you would. So we're so hard on ourselves. And when we're in that cocoon, in that wilderness, in that what seemingly is dark place and we're never going to get out, I would just leave you with what I feel I'm going to march into 2021, the attitude, first of all, to forget about 2020's lows and leave that behind. Start out with baby steps. And when I get my balance and my stride in when I finish those baby steps and feel balanced, then I'm going to take off and I'm going to start to run. And measuring my goals while taking those baby steps in small bites. And then you take off and you run with purpose. You become absorbed in your passion and intentionality. And each day just declaring to be better and better for God, your relationship with him, family, ministry, your passion, or whatever else it is. Say or look at write down positive affirmations. I have a list of affirmations that if I don't say them every day, I will try and look at them every day. Stay positive. Don't look back. Keep pressing forward and start with the baby steps and don't allow yourself to become overwhelmed. But most of all, trust God today. I have a scripture that I wanted to share, if that's okay, Reverend Tiffany.
Yes, that's what we wanted. Yep.
Okay. It's found in Isaiah chapter 40, verses 29 through 31. And it reads as such. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, he increases strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men and women shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Bless the Lord for his word. So true. Amen.
Amen. What an awesome, awesome, awesome scripture to remember. And you're not alone, sisters. And when you are not feeling that power, that is the ultimate. God is the ultimate source of your power. So our final 2 power tips for you for breakfast today are to break forth and to take your position. So when you're in this cocoon, you got to get out of it. And when that transformation happens, you have a point where you now need to step into your power. The stepping in is your breaking forth. The power is the position that you're going to take. So I challenge you today to step into your power. break forth and take your position. And why? We have Vidi here with us today to remind us of the why. By stepping into our position, we have the opportunity to empower generations behind us and to leave a legacy for others. So, Vidi, how can we help to empower girls like you to step into your power and remind us what it is that you need from us?
First off, I want to say that all the co-hosts and everyone here has definitely inspired me, and I'm sure a lot of people my age in different ways. And I would say, like, talk to girls about leadership and um, like, remember that girls look up to adults as like their role models, and all of you are doing a great job as that. And I would just say, like, having like independence and being confident is really important. And all of you have inspired me in different ways. For example, Salone, you are like Mrs. All-Star United States in 2018, and then the two like billboards on Times Square. And as a woman of color, that's just really inspiring for me. And for Sarah, being the founder and president at Boys to Leader Foundation, I think that's also really amazing, and I love the work that you're doing. Mrs. Williams, being the co-pastor at the Upper Room Church, I know you're actively involved with that, and seeing the kind of great stuff you do and like giving back to like the community is really amazing. And of course, my mentor, Miss Tiffany, you have taught me so much. I'm so grateful to you for everything. Your accomplishments are also inspiring, and um, like it's just I'm really glad to be here, and without you I wouldn't be like in this spot, like, learning about everyone else and being able to actively participate in like a group where I really feel welcome and loved. So thank you so much.
Well, Vidi, I did not expect that. And thank you. You are so amazing. You are really giving us some examples of the power of us stepping into our power and creating forums and opportunities to model our lives before you. So thank you for that insight. And you heard it here from a leader also. This is a woman who we would want to empower in the future, who's already stepping into her power even at her age. So I encourage you, sisters, to also step into your power so that you can enable another young woman to step into hers. And Vidi, can you just share with us any updates on your organization, Her Life Matters Too, and any way that we can support you?
Yeah, so if you like guys were here last time, Her Life Matters Too is an organization that fundraises and raises awareness for girls all around the world. So far I've done work in Uganda and India, and I'm actually going to India next month, and I'm gonna go to schools in India and give bags of like school supplies and sanitary products to all like the girls in India. So that's my next project, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, that's like the update for that. And we're constantly looking for donations. So I'll like link the website and like the PayPal link down below. But I really appreciate everyone's support, because the last time I was on here, a lot of people donated and it was really sweet. And I just want to like let everyone know that your donations are being put to use, and I'm sure the girls really appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you.
Awesome. And we'll get with you so that we can definitely promote. Well, first of all, put it in the chat so we can support you today. But we will actually make sure that we do something even more intentional on our Esther Project social media and partner with you to really get the word out for how our community and the Esther Project can support you on an ongoing basis. I love our partnership. Awesome. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming today. This was an incredible opportunity for us to fellowship together and talk about stepping into our power. And we want to invite you to step into your power by taking the Esther Project Challenge 2021. You can email us at info@imesther.org with just the subject line, "I'm in." And we will know that you are signing up to be a part of this sisterhood. We have hundreds of women throughout the world in all different countries, different continents throughout the US every year. But it is Esther harvest time, and we are getting ready to launch another class of Esther women. If you've already completed the Esther Project Challenge, you can do it again. We have our 2.0ers that come back every year and do it. I've been doing the project for like 10 years now, 11 years. I do it every time. Sarah does it every time, co-pastor Salon. So we find new ways to challenge women who have gone through it before. I see Sarah saying she's a 3.0er. All right. I see Tasha Bias on here today. Tasha, you're like probably a 9.0er. So she was in one of the very first empowerment circles, the Empowering Esther Divas. We have the opportunity for you to form your own empowerment circle. It just means that you want to do this challenge with other women that you know. You don't have to have any special leadership skills, but we will help you to increase your leadership skills. It's a wonderful leadership development opportunity as a woman if you want to step up and just lead your circle. We don't assign people to you. You actually decide who are the women that are in your circle. Who do you have an affinity to? Is it your neighbors? Moms, I encourage you, consider forming an empowerment circle with your daughters, with your daughter's friends. We have an Esther Girls version, same principles, but teaching girls as well. So we invite you, the first step is to let us know that you are in. Maybe I saw Pastor Iris Butler on here as well. I want to give her a shout out, an amazing woman of God. And it's such a hard thing to be a woman in ministry, leading others. It is very rewarding as well. So I want us to remember the women who are in ministry leading other women. And if you are a woman in ministry leading other women, this can provide great content for the women that you are leading as well. You don't have to be the person that leads it, but we can come, and we've gone to churches and sororities and women's groups and to just women's homes to talk about the project and launch it and see who wants to be a part of it. And sometimes there are circle leaders within the groups that we go and launch it to. And since we're working virtually now, we are able to do that. So if you're also interested in us hosting a night of Esther with your group, and which includes doing a book signing and really talking about the project, please, you can email us at the same email address, info@imesther.org. And our website is imesther.org, where you can find the book, The Esther Project, Every Woman's Guide to Living with Passion and Purpose, which is our empowerment guide for stepping into our power. Well, we love you at Breakfast at Tiffany's. We invite you to invite others to be a part of these conversations. March is Women's History Month. It's also what we call Esther Empowerment Month. So you want to connect with us. And if you're in on our mailing list, if you signed up today to be a part of Breakfast at Tiffany's, you were on our mailing list and will at least get notifications of things that are going on in the Esther Project. So we will keep you updated on future opportunities to continue to join our sisterhood and all the exciting things we have going on, because we're going to want you there for when we launch our institute and our celebration during the month of March. And I think I also saw one of our co-leaders of the Esther Project Challenge 2020 on, Elder Tawana Stanley. So I just want to give her a shout out as well, another great woman of faith and female leader. And I'm going to close us out in prayer, if you don't mind, Mom. I just feel led to close us out today. And I love you all, sisters. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather and to talk about how we can step into the power that you have placed inside of us. God, I ask that you empower every woman under the sound of my voice and her family and everything that she touches. And I ask that you would break binding yokes in her life, that you would just tear down any thoughts and any imaginations that come against what you have called us to be. We thank you that you knew us before we were a thought in our mother's womb, and that you called us for such a time as this to take our position, to step into the power that you have laid out for us. And so we thank you that that power is not about elevating ourselves, but the power is about lowering ourselves so that we can serve the needs of others. We pray for the girls that are watching and will be empowered. We pray for Vidi in particular, God, that you will continue to raise up an army of young Esthers that will take this world and transform it into the kingdoms of our God. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Thank you, sisters. Go in grace, go in peace.